I am in Ho Chi Minh, in Vietnam. This is Globanitter, my name is Caroline, welcome back to my channel. I am back from Vietnam and I didn't have time to make a video to tell you all about the yarn store I went to visit while I was there. And also, after I talked about the yarn store, I will tell you why I didn't have time to make the video and also why I love Vietnam so much. The yarn store is called Lalalen, and the way I remember it is Lala, and it's spelled L-E-N, but I remember it like laine, the French word for wool or yarn. It was 10-15 minutes by taxi, and I got there, and it was way smaller than I thought it was from looking at Google Maps. So I was a bit disappointed like this, and of course I cannot expect a yarn store like we have in the northern hemisphere where it's cold in winter because Ho Chi Minh is tropical, so it's hot and humid. And so as a result it's mostly crochet and amigurumi, and there's a little bit of wool but not so much. And the crochet really, there's like a lot of space, and this guy has to stop right in front of me. This is incredible. I cannot believe this. You can never be left alone as a woman, I think. Like, look. 안녕하세요.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
But okay, I will go somewhere else and finish there. I want you to see the space there is. There's no one. And he had to come just next to me. Really makes me mad. I hate this. I just moved a few meters away. I just want to be alone to do this video. I don't think it's too much to ask, and the place is empty. So, where was I? I was talking about the yarn store. I was a bit disappointed because on Google Maps it looked way bigger, and from what I gather they have 3 or 4 yarn stores in the city. They have a website, and of course they're not going to make sweaters and things. It's a tropical humid country, so I was expecting to have crochet and amigurumi, and it's exactly what they have. They have this yarn for that, and the yarn is mostly cotton and acrylic blends. It's from China and it's from Vietnam. I did see one ball of yarn art, but it's mostly Chinese and Vietnamese yarn. And they do a lot of amigurumis, they have a lot of accessories. What was beautiful, and it's all over the front of the shop, it's the bouquets of flowers made in crochet, in amigurumi, and it was beautiful. The shop is tiny, there's no tables, you know, it's not to build a community, it's just a shop to sell yarn, and that's it. So I didn't spend a lot of time. I did bought some yarn, and I bought, I will show you later, thing to make a bag, the bottom of the bag, and something else, but I will show you when I get back to my room. Of course, I'm close to the airport, so there's aircraft taking off from time to time. There are 4 runways, and 2 runways are used for takeoff and 2 runways are used for landing. So that's the noise you hear, the airplanes taking off. So yeah, the yarn store, from my perspective, for what I like, it was a bit of a disappointment, but you know, it serves its purpose, I suppose. Let me show you the pictures and the videos and you will see what I mean. That was the yarn store, and I know I had 48 hours in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh, but I had underestimated my initial duty to go from Incheon to Ho Chi Minh because it was on the freighter and it was 1 a.m. departure. And we were 3 pilots, we were doing 2 sectors, Incheon, Penang in Malaysia, Penang, Ho Chi Minh, but the flight was delayed an hour and a half on the ground from Incheon. They had some issues with the loading. We were not exactly sure what happened. And I had the first rest, so I slept. I slept on the ground, I slept through the takeoff. So for that I was lucky because it was quite a long duty. I think we were on duty for 14 hours at night. So when I got to the hotel, I had lots of plans to go to the city and do many things, and I didn't feel like doing anything. So I stayed in bed all afternoon and I was just knitting, watching YouTube. I've discovered a new series, by the way, on Netflix. It's called Burrows. I don't know if you know it. It has a good mark on IMDb. So I've only watched 2 or 3 episodes, but I'm hooked so far. So I did this and I had an early night, and the next morning I had breakfast and I had an appointment to do my nails, finally, for the graduation of the stepson. I don't want to look like a cargo pilot, you know. I want to have my hair done, my nails. So I did this. I didn't see my friend because I was too tired, and the next day I wanted to go to a yarn store. So that was my layover in a nutshell. And I wanted to tell you also the reason why I love Vietnam so much. The first time I really took notice of Vietnam, I was a student pilot in flight school in Scotland. And one Friday evening, a friend had lended me a TV, and there was this French movie. And you know, when you're in a foreign country and you see a movie from your own country, you're going to watch it no matter what. It doesn't matter what the subject is. So I started watching it and I was hooked. I couldn't stop watching it even if it was late. And the movie was Indochine with Catherine Deneuve. Beautiful movie. So talks about colonial France in Indochine, which is of course partly Vietnam now, and the end of the French colonization there, I suppose. And it's an epic saga. It spans across many years and throughout the country, from Saigon at the time. It's how Ho Chi Minh City was called. And of course, that's where the 3-letter code from the airport comes from. It's SGN, Saigon, for Ho Chi Minh, makes sense. And they went. What I stayed fascinated with is when they went to Halong Bay. I told myself, wow, I want to go there one day. So that stayed with me. And then 16 years ago, 2010, I went through a bad breakup. I was already flying in the Middle East. I was a first officer, and it took me a while to recover. And I thought part of the healing process would be to look after people who are less fortunate than me. So I took 2 weeks leave. I booked a flight to Vietnam, and I went and worked in an orphanage for 2 weeks. And really puts your feet back on the ground. So these kids are abandoned. Because they're abandoned, there's no paper, so they cannot be adopted. And the kids I was looking after, they all had some kind of mental and physical issues. And you know, with the Vietnam War and the Americans spread a lot of Agent Orange, and they're still living with the consequences. They still have babies born with issues, physical issues, mental issues. It's very sad. Again, in the street, I saw now those babies with the big head. I forgot the name of the disease. We had this in the orphanage. We had one girl, she was beautiful, and they had, at least in the orphanage, they were able to look after her, so they had managed she had the treatment that she needed. And these kids, you know, they believe in karma in Vietnam. So they think if the kid is born like this, it means they were a bad person in a previous life. So it makes it easier for them to abandon them. It's quite sad. And I'm sure also because there's a lot of poverty, it's they know they cannot look after them properly. So that's another reason, I suppose. But because they have no papers, they cannot be adopted. And the volunteers, you know, I was thinking, what am I doing there and things. And actually, the nurses there were overwhelmed. So the little girl I was looking after, she was there, but her mind was not there. And I had to give her lunch, and it was some kind of porridge. And with me, every time I put the spoon, she was turning her head. It was very difficult to feed her. But I took my time. That was my job. I was just feeding her and playing with the kids. Really, it was easy, enjoyable. And one day, when there were less volunteers, less nurses, I don't know, I saw how they were feeding her. And of course, she has to eat, but it was like force feeding, it was awful. And then I realized what I was doing. You know, I was making her life a bit more comfortable, even if, I don't know if she realized. But yeah. So that was the first time I went to Vietnam, and I liked it so much that I managed to convince my girlfriends a few years later to go there on a girls' trip to Vietnam, and we started in Ho Chi Minh City. We went to Mui Ne, and we finished in Hanoi and Ha Long Bay. Finally, I made it to Ha Long Bay. And when I joined this company a few years later, again, I had quite a few layovers in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, Da Nang, Hanoi, and it was the first time I went back after the pandemic. So, you know, I've just realized that it's been part of my life, this country, for a long time, without realizing it. And you know, a lot of people ask me, what is your favorite city, layover, country? And I never know, but now I know that Vietnam is one of those because it's been part of my life for so long, and I always go there. I'm always happy to go back there. And it is overwhelming. If you go to Ho Chi Minh City, it's full of motorbikes, the noise. You're walking on the sidewalk and suddenly this Vespa comes and cuts you off because they park on the sidewalk. So it's not all peaceful and relaxing. It's not what I'm saying, but I do like this country. It's like organized chaos, and it makes me appreciate what I have as well. So that's good. Yeah, that's my story of me and Vietnam, and it made me think of what I like. And in the end, it's not about the country, I think. It's about the memories and the connections I've made there. And so I think I've been answering the wrong question all along when people ask me, what is your favorite country? What is your favorite city? What is your favorite layover? In the end, it's not about places. It's about connection and memories. That's what I wanted to say. I'm going to go back to the room and I will show you exactly what I bought. And there's an aircraft taking off. And then I will sign off. So I will see you in a bit. So I'm back in my room, and would you believe it, on the way back, my bicycle chain broke. So I had to walk with the bicycle on the side for just under 2 kilometers. It's quite hot. Anyway, I'm happy to be back in my room, and I will have to deal with the bicycle later. So I want to show you what I bought in Vietnam. I bought this. I thought it was interesting. There's not really a label. It's in Vietnamese. I don't know what it says. It's 200 meters of yarn. Sorry, 200 grams. And I like the dégradé. I thought it would make a nice cover for the pets. This is the bottom I was telling you about. to make the bag. And I bought this is to, if one day I have time to make amigurumi, or I can make earrings in crochet, I can use this. And yeah, I was thinking about the incident with the elderly gentleman. And I saw him coming in the corner of my eyes, and I was, no, I cannot believe he's not coming here. And then, yes, he went next to me. And it was totally empty around me. I showed you. And for me, it feels intrusive because I was obviously busy. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was busy doing something. And I don't want to talk to anyone. You know, it's not like I'm out and about smiling at people and trying to make conversation. No. So for me, it feels very intrusive. I don't like it at all. And also, for me, it's a reminder that I don't have to stay in a situation where I don't feel comfortable just so that the other person who's making me uncomfortable can be comfortable. You know what I mean? It's just setting boundaries. So now I think I'm at an age where I can do it more comfortably. When we're younger, we're worried about, oh, they're going to think I'm rude and things. I said, nowadays, it doesn't matter. I had an incident as well. In the pool in Las Vegas on the Sun Lounger. And this gentleman came and sat. He asked if he could sit there because the chaise, I don't know what. I had my earphones on and I was chatting on my phone with my female friends from overseas. So obviously I was busy, and every time he was talking to me, I had to pause my podcast, reply to him. And you know, do you think he would get the message that I'm not in the mood to chat? No. So in the end, what did I do? He asked me a question, I paused my podcast, and I answered something totally out of subject. And then he thought I was a nutcase, and he left me alone, and then he left. Unbelievable, people, unbelievable. So, yeah. So now I want to show you what I've been making. And what I've been making, I'm still working on my farfalla, Katia yarn farfalla sweater. Is called, let me see, Wiesia. I don't know how it's pronounced. If you're a designer, please come up with names we can pronounce, please. So anyway, it's beautiful. I love the way, this is the back. I've almost reached the point where I have to bind off for the collar, and then I will still have to knit a little bit on the side for the shoulders before I bind off. And then I will still have to make the front. This is the bottom. It's knitted bottom up. And it's a V-neck, so I think it's going to go fast. The only issue, I've told you before, I don't like short rows because it's in the round, so on one side it shows more than the other. And I just saw a tutorial on Instagram on, look, this is where it shows more. So that's what I don't like about short rows. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. And I just saw a tutorial, and they say to knit through the back loop when you go back. So I guess it makes the stitches tighter and twist them a little bit so there's no holes. So as it happens, there's more short rows for the shoulders. So I will try this technique and I will report back. The other thing I've been making, but I can only make it when I'm here because this is my bag of yarn. It's too much. Honestly, I should have left it home, but then I would never have the time to work on it. So this is the shawl. It's called a starting point shawl with the yarn I bought in Las Vegas, and they're all making it as a cal. And this is how it looks, and this is as wide as it's going to be because I've reached the point where the edges are straight now. I mean, I've just reached the edge. So this is the width. I like the colors. I'm quite happy with the result. And you know, it's 100% wool, so it's going to be warm. It's going to be a nice shawl for winter. And that's what I've been working on. tomorrow I'm going to Boston. It's another long flight. And of course there are going to be yarn shopping, more yarn store. In Boston, I am thinking of going to Salem, but I am not sure. We will see, to be discussed. And yeah, that's it. And then after my Boston, I'm going home for the World Cup. We still don't have any tickets. Well, there's been 10 tickets, but it's a total of 16. So now is going to be the issue, who's going to get what ticket. This is the issue that we're going to face if they don't have more tickets coming soon. And yeah, I will see you from Boston. Have a fantastic week. Don't forget to keep knitting, and see you next week in Boston. Bisous, bisous. Mwah.